what? Not what it says. What my service order says.
Oh,
A
well,
minor.
where is it? Lecha Dodi. It says A minor.
A minor.
Well, I could do that. I mean, I've heard of that melody. Anything else I should? Yaminu small. Is it?
Hashkivenu Craig.
Oh, yeah, but I'm looking at.
You know that.
Is it the top one or the bottom one?
Well,
Oh, that's
those are
part of
different-
Lecha Dodi. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
oh, that you just sang it.
You know this. You don't even
Okay,
need the music for
okay,
this.
so it's just there.
This is just to remind you
To remind me.
which Lachado it was.
Yeah, gotcha. And then here's the end. Yigdal, da, da, da. Oh, yeah, that one. But it's in a different key?
It's whatever key. Whatever key I wrote. I don't remember.
You,
How are you?
Yeah, you wrote A minor. Look at that.
Look at that. And it's in A minor.
Oh, that's why I said, look at that.
Look at that.
I will look at that.
Good.
Okay? You know what? I'm not too concerned about, I'm not too worried or concerned. I'm going to just go with the flow. Judy, Judy,
You know what?
shall I
I'm celebrating.
shall I start to noodle?
I haven't been
Shall I start to noodle?
That's what I do.
That's what we're starting
Yeah,
with.
yeah, just want to make sure you remember. You know what?
Oh, Andre's here. All right, we'll give everyone a chance to come on in. Hi. She just drops it. I mean, we'll wait until they have a lot of reverence for the. That's very nice. That's very nice. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Shabbat shalom. Hello there. Are you gonna welcome everybody in?
Is this
Yes?
one on?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Yeah, but only if I.
Right.
It sounds really weird.
Yeah. So Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Hello. It's nice to be in this particular space, celebrating with your family and celebrating Stella this incredible simcha. And so, yeah, you give like woohoos. Jerry, are you good on the woohoo? Okay, Jerry has given us clearance to do all woohoos. Are you, like, where you live, Jerry? Like, what town? The United States. So I live there too. Beyond, like, oh, he lives in St. Louis. Okay. That's right. So Gary over here, this is Gary, Mr. Perchersky, because he's a teacher. But Mr. Perchersky is a big St. Louis Cardinal fan. Are you a Cardinal fan? Yeah. There you. We're not going to do that for the Cardinals here, are we, Marcia? No, we're going to.
Go
we're
Dodgers.
Met fans. Well, we're working on that. Okay. Anyway, yes. So, Jerry, you can clap, you can smile, you can talk St. Louis Cardinal baseball with Gary over here. You guys are supportive of the Cardinals also because you're all in red. That's right, you're the Phillies. The Phillies, oy vey. That's like okay. Not good for me at all.
Didn't the Dodgers just win the Cardinals and the Phillies?
They did.
Oh,
they
I'm
did.
sorry.
They did. Okay. The Memphis Redbirds? That's a thing. Okay. So actually, we're going to take a big deep breath in and a big exhale out. And we're going to leave whatever it was, whether you drove 10 hours on the freeway as a demonstration of love and support for special people, or whether you're coming in from St. Louis, or you're coming in from across Valley Village. Wait, who's from Texas? You're from Texas? Oh, wait, who had the bat mitzvah a few months ago? That was you. I heard you did a very nice job. What's your name? Hi, Haley. Welcome to Adat Ariel. It's really great to have you here. And what's your name? Hi, Sophie. You're also from Dallas, like North? You came to Sasha, so you're getting like this like LA thing down pat, right? Do you do Disney every time you come? You do, don't you? No. You're here for the friends, right? Okay. So it's nice to gather with friends. It's nice to gather with family. It's nice to be together and celebrate Shabbat. So what we're going to do is we're going to all stand up, throw your arm around one another, and we're going to sing Shalom Aleichem. It's on page 4 or 5, but don't even bother opening the book. Just put your arm around each other there. Jerry, throw your arm around them over there. And Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei, Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei, Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni L'Shalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei, Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem L'Shalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei, Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You may all be seated, and we turn to page 11 for the Chunaranana. Rabbi, anytime you want to grab the microphone, just grab it from me, because I think I shouldn't use the other one. Lechu neranena l'Adonai, nariya letzur yishenu, nekadma fana b'toda, bismirot nariya lo, nekadma fana b'toda, bismirot nariya lo. Ki el gadol Adonai, umelech gadol al kol Elohim, asher biyado mechkerei aretz, v'toafot harim lo, asher biyado mechkerei aretz, v'toafot harim lo, asher lo yam v'yosav v'yavashad v'yotzaru v'nishtach v'nechmanim. Arba'im shana akut bedor, va'omaram to'ei levavim, vehem lo yadu derachai, asher nishbati be'api, im yavo'un el menuchati. Pages 13 and 14 for this psalm, Psalm number 96. Yalai la lai lai yanai na nai nai ai la lai lai ai la lai la lai 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 ai lai la lai lai ai la lai lai yanai la lai lai ai la lai la lai 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 yanai la lai lai ai nai ai lai yanai la lai lai yanai lai 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 ai Shiru l'Adonai, Bachru Shemo, Basru miyom liyom, Yeshuato, Sapru v'goyim, Kevodo bechol ha'amim, Nifleotav, Ki gadol Adonai, Umulal meyod, Norahu, Al kol Elohim, ay, 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 ki kol Elohe, ha'amim elilim, va'adonai shamayim asam, hod ve'hadar lefanav, oz ve'tiferet be'mikdasho, havul Adonai mishpechot amim, avul Adonai kavod va'oz, avul Adonai kevod shemo, se'u mincha, uvo'u lechatzrotav, lai lai lai, shachavu l'Adonai, behadrat kodesh, chilu mipanav kol haaretz, imru v'goyim, Adonai malach, avtikon tevel, ba'altimot, yadin amim, b'meisharim, yismechu hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz, yira mayam, umeloa, yalo sadai, v'chol asher bo, ay, az yiranenu kol atzeya, ipnei alai kiva, lishpot haaretz, yishpot tevel betzedek, ve'amim be'emunato, yalai, lai, 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 yanai, nai, 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 yai, nai, 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 hai, lai, 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 nai, 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 nai.
17?
So why did we just do that? In fact, out of anything that we do this weekend, Stella, in some ways, that's the most important thing. Because when you're able to be in a sanctuary with your family, when you're able to be with your friends, and when you're able to be with your community, and you're able to make those bonds, those connections, that's where God comes out. And so for me, more than anything, that's important. I think I told you, but 2 weeks ago I was in Poland, right? And we visited all the concentration camps, and we saw incredible places of sadness and despair and tragedy. And someone came up to me and said, you know, this experience transformed the way I think of Judaism. And that was interesting, and I listened because it was more of a pastoral moment, but I actually thought it was a little bit sad, because certainly tragedy and sadness and the darker pages of our history should not be forgotten. And at the same time, a Judaism that is based on sadness and tragedy is not sustainable, and I'm not sure what it exactly is worth. Rather, a Judaism that's based on celebration. In fact, I come from a small town. My family comes from a small town in Poland called Tarnow. It's like a mid-sized town. And there's a famous Jewish historian from Tarnow. His name is Salo Baron. And what Salo Baron said is he cautioned, he actually testified at the Eichmann trial. So this is a guy who knew about the Holocaust and knew about the tragedy. And in his writings, he warns us to not become too fascinated with the Holocaust. And he warns us against the lachrymose conception of Judaism, is what he calls it. In other words, if religion is all about sadness, if religion is all about darkness, if religion is all about fear, what is it worth? But when religion is transformed into an opportunity for celebration and connection, that's true holiness. So that's why what we just did before, if you remember anything from your bat mitzvah, there's going to be prayers that you're going to be remembering and prayers you're going to forget. But I never want you to forget that you're going to dance with your friends, that you're going to hug your parents, that you're going to kiss your cousins and your grandparents, and you're going to be embraced by friends from Dallas and from St. Louis and from all these and Memphis, well, whatever. But that's the most important thing that I hope that you can be blessed with this weekend, is the joy of Judaism. And that's the purpose of Kabbalat Shabbat. So we'll continue with more songs, more celebration on page 17.
Shir l'Adonai shir chadash, ki niflaot asa, Hoshea lo yamino zra kocho.
And there are books in front of
turn to page 18, this third line down. Samru l'Adonai bechinor, bechinor v'kol zimra, b'chatzotzrot v'kol shofar. Hariu lifnei hamelech Adonai, zameru l'Adonai bechinor, bechinor v'kol zimra, b'chatzotzrot v'kol shofar. Hariu lifnei hamelech Adonai, Yiram hayam umlo'o, tevel ve'yoshveva, neharot imcha uchav, yachad harim yiranenu, lifnei Adonai kiva, kiva lishpot haaretz, yishpot tevel v'tzedek, ve'amim v'meisharim. Yiram hayam umlo'o, tevel ve'yoshveva, neharot imcha uchav, yachad harim yiranenu. We turn to page 23, 24, and 25 for Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Hishmiyanu el hameyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shemo tiferet v'litila. Lecha Dodi Dodi, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mekor haberacha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Mikdash melech yirmelucha, קומי צאי מתוך אפיך, רב לך שבט בעמק הבכה, והוא יחמול עלייך חמלה. לך, לך, דודי, דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התנערי מעפר קומי, לבשי בגדי תפארתך עמי, על יד בן ישי בית הלך בי, קרבה אל נפשי גאלה. לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לא, לא, לא תבושי ולא תקלמי מאמה, תשתוכחי ומתהמי בך, בך יחסו עניי ימי, ונבנתה עיר על תהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. 25. והיו למשיסה שוסייך ורחקו כל מבלייך, יסיס עלייך אלוהיך, כמשוש חתנה על כלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. ימין ושמאל תפרוצי ואת אדוני תעריצי, על יד איש בן פרצי, ונשמחה ונגילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
And as we face the entryway to the sanctuary, we take a deep breath in and we envision the bride of Shabbat walking through the door, a metaphor for our realization of completeness, of sanctifying time, of finding space in our lives for all that which is truly important instead of the things that usually occupy our time. We find space in our souls for love and space in our souls for care for others. And with that, we breathe out and we welcome in the Shabbat bride, Boi v'Shalom, with a prayer for her to come in peace.
Boi v'Shalom, ateret bala, gam besimcha uvetzola, tochem unei am segula. Boi chala, boi chala, lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela.
We're going to ask everyone to please remain standing as we call. Wow, this is a great big group of people here to celebrate with Stella. So we're going to invite Stella, of course, and Mandy and Ainsley and Marsha and Hillary and Holly to come join us on the bima and just watch. We have two options here. Do you want? Put your arms around one another. Everyone take a deep breath in, and Mandy just... And Stella, we hope that the light of these candles are symbolic of the light that you feel in your heart. That the light of these candles illuminates the joy and the blessing that you feel in your life and allows you to open your eyes to all of the love that surrounds you. And we all say, Amen. Amen. Yeah, no, we're going to do it.
Oh, you want to do that now? Oh, okay.
And we're going to turn to page
27.
Page 27. We can all be seated.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות, להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך העליון, טוב להודות, להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך העליון, להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות, להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ויעלנה ועלי גרמכם מגדו מזכן לכנו. We're on page 28 at the arrow. Sadikata marifra ke'eres bavanon yiske shetuli beveit Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu odenu uvun beseva deshenim verananim yiyu lehagid ki ashar Adonai tzuri tzuri velo avla
And now we'll call upon Mom and Dad to present Stella with her bat mitzvah talit. Yeah, Stella, we need you too. Yeah. You're kind of like critical to the whole thing. Like usually if there's a question of whether you should come up, you should. Okay? And if not, if you don't do anything, you just like hang out with us. How's that sound? Yeah, is that a Mento? Yeah. What flavor? You want one? I do. Okay. All right, but I'm going to step out of the way here. And why don't you guys just there you go. Oh, I'm just kidding. We don't have to give you a Mento.
You're committed. You're committed.
It's fine. Okay, we're drawing attention to the Mento. That's great. Here, why don't you come over here and face Mom and Dad?
Face them?
Yeah, like that.
Hi, Stella. I can't believe we're here. This is very exciting. Thank you for everybody for coming. I was thinking about what I wanted to say to you as we present you this wonderful, beautiful tallis, and all I could think about was my tallis. And you probably know, you've seen this every time I've ever worn it, every Jewish holiday that we've gone to, every Shabbat. And this was my grandfather's, my papa's, Gigi's father's. And I remember watching him in this tallis when I was a kid, and we would go to Sher Zedek, our synagogue. And I just loved how he looked in the tallis, and he was so prideful when he wore it. And when I was given this tallis by his wife, my Gigi, it meant everything to me. And I never wanted another tallis. This is the only one I ever wanted to wear for the rest of my life. And every time I wear it, I think of him, every single time. And it brings me back to being a kid and watching him wear that tallis. And that's all I ever thought about when I put this on. But something's changed over the last couple months. You and I have been going to Shabbat almost every week for a little while now. And every time I put the tallis on for Shabbat, I thought of my papo, and I thought about your bat mitzvah coming up. And I've loved every minute of the services that we've gone to for the last couple months. It's our time together. We go. I know you don't like getting up early, but I get you out of bed. You get ready. We go. I put this tallis on. And every time I've put it on for the last couple months, I've thought about how wonderful it's going to be to give you this one. And I hope that when you put this one on, you have the same pride that my papo had, that I have when I put this one on. And hopefully, you'll think of your mom and me for the rest of your life when you put this tallis on. We love you, Stella.
Oh my gosh, okay. Stella, when your dad and I were deciding on names for you, there was no doubt that we were going to use the letter S after your great-grandmother Sally, your popo's mother. I never had the pleasure of meeting her, but everything I've heard about her makes me think she was an impressive and fierce woman. She was a survivor of the Holocaust, an immigrant, a wife, a mother, and a business owner. She came to America barely speaking the language and created a life for her family. She worked every day of the week so that she could leave behind a legacy for her children and her children's children. Stella, you may not realize this, but women haven't always been encouraged or even permitted to wear a talit. Your great-grandmother lived in such a time. Your Gigi has never even owned one. So it's not just a rite of passage as a Jewish adult that we present this beautiful, slightly over budget talit to you. It's a profound statement of progress and empowerment to see you wear this garment. So when we stand in front of the ark tomorrow before services begin, promptly at 9:30 a.m., and you put your talit on for the first time, I want you to think about how hard you've worked to get here. I want you to think about how you can do anything that you put your mind to. I want you to think about your Aunt Hillary.
We're going to take a break.
I want you to think about your Aunt Hillary and your Gigi and your dad's Baba. And I want you to think about all the Jewish women before you. And I want you to be proud to be one of them. God, I'm sorry. In the beloved novel Little Women, Jo March says, women, they have minds and they have souls as well as just hearts. And they've got ambition and they've got talent as well as just beauty. I'm so sick of people saying that love is all a woman is fit for. Stella, this talit fits you perfectly. Wear it in good health and with pride. We are all so proud of you.
Do you want to show everyone the tallis though? Do you want to show it? Do you want to take it off? Oh my gosh, that was beautiful. You don't have to apologize to me. Yeah, you don't apologize. It's really good. Ooh. Do you want to hold it? It's beautiful. So Stella, a talit is supposed to be a reminder. It's actually, for those of you who aren't familiar with the tradition, these, the knots and the strings, if you kind of add them up and you do fancy math, it adds up to 613. And as Jews, we believe that there are 613 mitzvot, or 613 ways that we are commanded to engage the world and to engage one another. So the talit, these tzitzit, these fringes, are reminders of those 613. But I also hope that this talit has a dual purpose, just like your dad said, that it's not only a reminder of your commitment to your tradition, but it's a reminder of the love that you feel with all the people who are standing beside you. And with that, we wish you many nachas, many like celebrations and good times wearing this talis. And let us all say, Amen. Yeah, you're good. Okay, we're going to ask everyone, you can let me get out of the way. You can kiss, you can hug. And we're going to ask everyone to please rise for the Baruch Hu, our call to prayer, page 39. We can all be seated as we continue with the first of two blessings before the Shema. It's a blessing that celebrates God's creative capacity. Page 39b.
Ma'avir yom u'mevi laila u'mavdil ben yom u'ben laila Adonai tziva'ot shemo El chai v'kayam Tamidim lo chaleinu le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai
Baruch Shemo.
Amari varavi.
Oh, man, it's okay.
Ahavat olam beit Yisrael ahavta Torah mitzvot kimin mishpatim. V'avatcha ot tasir mimenu li'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai. Ohev amo Yisrael.
We continue with the Shema and V'ahavta, page 41.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol miotecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha ve'shinantam levanecha ve'dibarta bam be'shivtecha be'veitecha uvlechtecha avaderech ושוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
We continue silently through the bottom of page 42. Page 43. The top of page 44.
ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ומרים ובני ישראל לכנו שירה בשמחה רבה ויאמרו כולם מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נדר בקודש נורא תהילות אוסף אלה נורא תהילות אוסף אלה מלכותך ראו בניך בוקי הים לפני משה זה אלי אנו ויאמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד זה אלי אנו ויאמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
We're very blessed as Jews to live in a country that affords us such great opportunity, where the father of a bat mitzvah can stand before his daughter and present her a talit and celebrate his family and his heritage. And the mom of a bat mitzvah can stand before her daughter and present her with a talit as a call to her empowerment and to find her own voice. We're very blessed. And we also recognize that there are people in this world who are not as blessed as we. And therefore, it is our imperative to take the blessing that we feel and figure out ways, and there can be different ways amongst us, but ways of sharing what we have, what we've been blessed with the entire world. That's a little bit about what the Hashkivenu is about. It's a prayer for peace. It's a prayer that we say with the hopes that we can celebrate where we were and who we aspire to be, and that we can use that as a vehicle of creating blessing for the world. The Hashkivenu, our evening prayer for peace, is on page 45.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom ve'habidenu malkeinu lechaim Yai-da-dai, dai-dai-da-dai, yai-la-lai, lai-lai, la-lai, la-lai, lai-lai, nai-nai, lai-lai, lai-lai. Ushmor tzeiteinu uvoeinu lechayim u'shalom me'ata v'ad olam. Lai, la, lai, 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 hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom ve'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom ve'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Ufros aleinu Sukkot shlomecha. Ufros aleinu Sukkot shlomecha. Alai, nai, 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 nai. Baruch atah Adonai haporei Sukkot. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim.
Please rise for Vishamru, page 46.
Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat la'asot et haShabbat le'dorotam berit olam.
Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat la'asot et haShabbat le'dorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat Shabbos la'asot et haShabbat le'dorotam berit olam.
Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim v'et haaretz veshamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat Shabbos la'asot et haShabbat le'dorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash bayom hashvi'i veshamru
b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat
la'asot et ברית עולם. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ילמד דברי קירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם וליומי יומיה יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה ויחוליילה, מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תאמירן ביולמה, ואמרו
Amen.
The Amidah is an opportunity for our own silent prayers and meditations. The traditional liturgy begins on page 47 and concludes on page 52, or just allow the next few moments to be a time of your own personal prayers and thoughts.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל ישראל. ואמרו, אמרו, אמן. ועושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו, אמרו, אמן. ימנה ני 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 Yananai, nanai, nai, nai. Yananai, nanai, nai, nai. Ambananai, nai, nai, nai. Yalalai, lai, lai. Yananai, nanai, nai, nai. Yananai, nanai, nai, nai. Ose shalom bimromav. Ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Ve'imru. Imru. Amen. Yitkara v'yikara shemei Rabbah. B'yom ma'divra kiru tevim lichmakotei b'chayachonu v'imechonu chaytocho beit Yisrael. Ba'agala v'zman kariv imeru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach. Li'olam li'omei omayah. Yitbarach, v'ishtabach, v'ipor, v'truma mina, sevita dar, v'tilal, v'tilal, shmei dekudesha. Brichu li'ela, mikol berchata, v'shirata, tushbechata, v'nechamata, damiran b'yama v'imeru. Amen. Titkabel, tzloton, uvauton, d'cho Yisrael, kodam, avhoni, v'shmai, v'imeru. Amen. Yehi shlam rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu, v'ko Yisrael, v'imeru. Amen. Ose shalom, b'bramav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, Ve'imeru. Amen.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. So actually, I'm going to change what I wanted to talk about, Mandy, based on something that you said, and Stella, something that I want you to hear. And actually, I want all of you to hear this. That what Mandy essentially said to Stella was, hey, Judaism wasn't always like this. And that you, Stella, have a new opportunity, an opportunity to put on a talit, to develop a voice, to raise that voice in celebration, in indignation if necessary, that you have an opportunity to be a full member of our community. And I'm just thinking about that change. And some people say, wait a second, we're changing Judaism? Is that a good thing or it's not a good thing? How many of you think it's a good thing? Yeah, you want to, good. I figured Eric's hand would go up really quick on that one. I'm getting to know you, Eric. So I want to point, I happen to agree with that. Not only would I say that change is a good thing, but I think that change is something that is most traditional in our faith. People sometimes say, oh, wait a second, you're changing the way it was. And I would say, actually, the way it always has been was to change. And let me point out an example. How many of you are familiar with the practice of the Omer, counting the Omer? Is anyone familiar with that? Ori, good raising your hand. I'm not calling on you, Ori. Put your hand down. Yeah, come, yeah. Okay, you weren't going to offer anything. So can anyone tell me anything they know about the Omer? Go ahead, just anything you know. It sounds familiar? It's okay if it just sounds familiar. Okay. You know, okay, good. It's actually good to say. Okay, what is it? Go ahead. Very good. It's the 49 counting until Shavuot. Good job, Mitzi. That's right. Oh, that's right. And you did it in your class this week. Wow. You as a teacher, you're good. Okay. So what I want to point out is, Macy, I'm so glad that you remembered that. So on the second night of Passover, we begin counting 7 weeks, 7 complete weeks until the holiday of Shavuot. Actually, that's why it's called Shavuot, which literally means weeks. So we complete a counting period. Now, what do you think? Why do we count from Passover to Shavuot? Or he's like reticent about raising his hand now. Well, what I would say is, go ahead, Michael, go ahead. Okay, it represents a journey, right, and a little bit more than that, but it does represent a journey. It does represent a journey. So initially, and Stella, this is in your Torah portion, It was, the Omer is actually a measure. It's like 2 liters worth figure. So you remember those 2-liter bottles of soda? Figure that amount of barley that was brought to the temple or any place, and it was made as sort of like a recognition of the beginning of the fruition of the agricultural season. So it's harvest time. And then 7 weeks later was the full, right, it's sort of like a perilous time. Like if you've ever been in Israel during that time, there's something called the Chamsin, like strong easterly winds that are occurring. And so the crop is sort of in peril. But 7 weeks later, you could be assured that the crop was okay, and therefore you would have a celebration of Shavuot. So it could be thought of as the time that you're counting in between Passover and Shavuot as the time of, oh gosh, we really hope our crops are going to be okay. Because if our crops are not okay, then unfortunately we won't have any food to eat. That's one way of looking at it. And that's the Torah. But guess what? It was 2,000 years ago that the Jews entered the diaspora, and they became less tied to the agricultural calendar. So then they had an issue. What do you do with the Omer? And so then you see in rabbinic literature a change in the practice where the Omer becomes a way of mourning when students of Talmud, students of the tradition passed away. So essentially what they did was they lifted the agricultural element from the Omer in order to make it meet the needs of a community that was no longer land tied. And now, today, we don't even talk about that as much because that may not be compelling, and I could see from your faces that you didn't even think it was. So now when I'm talking about the Omer, what I usually offer is I say that it's a time that we go from Passover, which is about freedom, to Shavuot, which is the time that we celebrate the 10 Commandments. And so it's a time that you recognize that with freedom comes responsibility. This is a long-winded way of saying that the meaning behind counting the Omer has changed radically throughout our practice throughout the years, and it will continue to change. And that's just one small example. And by the way, today is the 29th day of the Omer, and you're supposed to count it at night. So you're not supposed to count it quite yet, but today is the 29th day. You go home, Gary, you'll count what comes after 29. I can't say it because then it's like it's counting. But this is all a very long-winded way of saying what your mom said in a much more eloquent way, which is that our tradition has always changed. Our tradition should always continue to change. And it's our hope that all of you, Macy, and that's why I love that you were, that you thought of, that you participated, is that we hope that you take Judaism and find ways of making it meaningful to you in the lives that you lead, and that you continue to enrich our tradition with newness and with change. So wear your talit, wear it with pride, and continue to evolve our tradition, not out of fear of change, but out of a celebration of the value and the sanctity of the holiness of change. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Okay, Stella, it is time for you. Do you want to lead Kiddush? Yeah, up there? Okay. So we're going to ask everyone to please rise. Yes, Stella, come over here. Yeah, here, Stella, come over here. Yeah, I'll give it to her after. I'll do it after that.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinhilanu, zikarov lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom tehila lemikra kodesh, zecher litziat mitzrayim, kivan ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנהלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
And Stella, this Kiddush cup is actually a gift. You want to drink the rest of it, or you're good? You're good. We're going to pour it out. This Kiddush cup is a gift from the synagogue to you. It's a hand-painted Kiddush cup. It was made in Jerusalem as an opportunity to give elderly or disabled people a job. And so they made this, the cantor's going to clean up all the schmutz. But we hope that its beauty, Stella, is also a reminder to you of this beautiful day. And so that we hope that you continue to wear your talit, and then on Shabbat you continue to make Kiddush using this cup, and it's always a memory of all the love that surrounds you today. And we say Amen. But Stella, yet there is more. Cantor, behind curtain number 1, a new car. There. So we're also happy to present you with all these other goodies, Stella, including a box for the Kiddush cup. You can put the Kiddush cup in there. Okay. And then there's a book on Israel, and we certainly hope that someday soon that you and your family will have an opportunity to travel to Israel together. There are these cool, nifty socks because we want your journey in life to be warm and cozy and comfortable. And also with the socks is a $100 gift certificate for a Jewish teen experience. So we hope that you'll get a chance to spend that. And then last but not least is this great bat mitzvah certificate, which maybe, you could frame, you could put it up in your room. Ainsley, you can make room in the room for her bat mitzvah certificate. What do you think? She takes up all of the room. Well, you can find room for this, right? And then we'll have a space next to it for yours. Well, anyway, this is a beautiful bat mitzvah certificate. We're going to give it to you in good faith that tomorrow is going to go okay. But most importantly, the best blessing and the best gift are the people who love you and who've gathered here today. So we're so happy to have your presence as well. So to that, we say to you, Stella, Mazel Tov. And we're going to continue in our service with Aleinu, which cantor is on page
57?
Page 57.
It's actually 56. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, latet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoyei haratzon, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol amonam, va'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ ומושב יקרם השמיים ממעל ושכינתו זו בגובי מרומים הוא אלוהינו זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבותה אל לבביך. כי אדוני הוא אלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת עינות. על כן יקבל לך אדוני אלוהים. תקן עולם המלכות שלו וכל בני מצרים. כי המלכות שלך היא עולם תמלוך בכבוד, ככתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
love, we recall those who no longer walk this earth, and we are grateful to God for the gift of their lives and for the cherished memories that never fade. This week, we as a congregational community continue to mark the Shloshim, the 30 days since the passing of Leonard Shapiro, Evelyn Mantell, and Larry Sugarman. And this coming week, we'll observe the yurtzites of Letty Backenheimer, Rosalie Barnett, Teresa Friedline, Reuben Hennig, Aaron Hoffman, Harold Mandel, Sidel Menashe, Jack Sherrick, Sophie Fink, Herbert Friedman, Michael Horwich, Rhonda Reeder, Robert Shirley, Annie Spector, Ida Barrell, Benjamin Wald, Salman Zimring, Mary Chernoff, Vera Fassberg, Joanna Field, Janet Glasser, Sylvia Grossman, Julius Kaplan, Della Stolberg, Rose Weiss, Murray Dreyer, Dorothy Gladstein, Sonia Hockerman-Baum, Zenaida Masler, Sam Moore, Mark Schnitzer, Stanley Stone, Mildred Blackstone, Patty Block, Salvador Liu, Diane Lieberman, Rivka Lurie, Edward Rosenblum, Ann Rothenberg, Mark Shub, Harry Wohl, Rose Engel, Sherma Frank, Michael LaBelle, Bessie Phillips, Samuel Picker, Edward Simon, and Michael Euland. Is there anyone else observing a yurtzeit for someone that I neglected to mention? Okay. We'd like to ask those of you who are in mourning or observing a yurtzeit to please rise as we sanctify God's name with the words of Mourner's Kaddish on page 58. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba bi'alma divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayachon uv'yameyachon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala uv'yizman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbam v'rach le'olam al maya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitraman v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudusha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata b'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata damiram bi'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlam araba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yal kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru amen. And may the memories of our loved ones be a source of comfort and blessing, and let us all say amen. So before we conclude services, we just want to welcome everyone who is here from out of town, and we hope that and know that it's going to be a beautiful weekend celebrating Stella's bat mitzvah, and we're excited to have you here and to be here as a community and celebrating you, Stella. Tomorrow morning services begin at 9 o'clock in the chapel for Psuke de Zimra, and then Shacharit 9:30 in the sanctuary. And I think we'll keep that to any other. Lots of things are coming up, and they're all good and important, and you should come to all of them. How about that? Yes. Okay, good. And what are we concluding the service with?
Yigdal on page 62.
Page 62, Yigdal. Okay. Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry. We want to thank David Kaminer for being here and providing musical accompaniment. And we want to also thank the cantor for being here. And I know that Stella feels a profound sense of gratitude for all of you and for the roles that you're playing in her life. So I'll throw out a thank you on Stella's behalf. So Yigdal, page 62.
So Yigdal is a traditional way to end the Friday night service. The only thing is it's got lots of words, right? So there's a translation and a transliteration on the other side. But before we even go back to the third verse, because that's what we're on, we're going to sing this with la la la. And when I go back to the words, you can feel free to sing. Keep playing, David. You can feel free to sing la 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 even over my words. You can sing the words using the transliteration or the Hebrew, or you can just sit and read the translation or think lovely thoughts, whatever. But I want to give you a chance to learn the tune. So here we go on la la la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, na 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 whatever you sing, but sing. Hino Adon Olam v'chol notzar, Yoreh gedulato u'malchuto, shefa nebuato netano, el aneshei segulato v'tifarto. Lo kam b'Yisrael k'Moshe od navi u'mabit et emunato, Torat emet natan li'amo el hayad nevi'o neman beito. Lo yachal Yifa'el ve'lo yamir dato, le'olamim le'zulato, tzofev yodea setarenu, ma'amit le'sof davar b'kadmato, gomer le'ish chesed kemifalo, noten l'rasha ra kerishato, yishlach leketz yamin meshichenu, liftot mechakekeit yeshuato, meitim yechayel berov chasdo, baruch hadeyad shem tehilato, yalai na nai 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 nai, lai 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 lai. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Shabbat shalom.
It's a four-ending song. Ole!
Anytime we left for services, and anytime I had to wait, and he went and he got the seaweed, it was like a snack for David. I was like, normally I'd say no, but if it's for David, okay.
Hey, I see weed and I don't partake. I see weed, but I don't partake. Did you hear what I just said? Say what you said.
So the backstory here is my son showed up with a thing of seaweed.
This is the seaweed.
If you could just, so everybody, we are a little late for dinner, so if you could just go along.
Okay, and then he came up and said the story to me,
And you said,
and I said, well, when I see weed, but I don't partake.
what is that?
I see weed, but I don't partake.
Hey, you guys hired him.
Look, I tell people I play really good piano, and my jokes suck, so it's a good thing I play really good piano.
I just stared at your son.
Shabbat shalom. Okay, and that's my last show, everybody. I gotta go home.